Hello? I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her.
You guys know that song? It's awesome. One of my jams. I was going to come out to Run DMC, but I didn't want to disrespect the Rev. So I want to give you guys some background in terms of why I decided to have Rev come up on stage with me. I've worked with him for several years, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy hearing from him in terms of his perspective. But really, it comes down to where we are today with television. I believe we are 2 to 3 years away from the TV being a giant iPad hanging on your wall. Kids, when they come out of the womb, go up to TVs, and they try to swipe the TVs because they think you should be able to swipe it. If you ask a 12-year-old what Fox is, they'll tell you it's an animal. If you ask them what ABC is, they'll tell you it's the alphabet. TV networks do not mean much to kids these days. They are not tuning into TV networks like we went to must-see TV on Thursday night to watch Friends or Seinfeld. It's a completely different world. And the reason why I called the title of this presentation, Brands Are People, People Are Brands, is that the ownership of audiences and distribution has slowly shifted over time from big networks to individuals. A point could be made that if you wanted to get a message out right now to millions and millions of people, you wouldn't call Sumner Redstone or Rupert Murdoch at Viacom or News Corp or one of the big TV networks. You'd call the Kardashians or Justin Bieber or people with huge followings. They are now the networks. They are now the people that control mass scale. And while Apple TV looks something like this today, where when you log into an Apple TV, which I think is the closest thing we have to the future of TV, and you see a bunch of networks, where I see it heading tomorrow is networks sort of going away. I actually think, and this is somewhat controversial, that companies like Netflix really have to reinvent themselves because Apple TV can essentially encapsulate everything in one ecosystem. But in this new world, you'll have celebrities that have their own channels, right? Much like they do on YouTube today. You'll have shows going direct. Why do you need to go through Showtime to get to billions when billions can kind of go direct to consumers? And you'll have sports networks, which is really the only thing that consumers are tuning into live television today. And in this world, you have to question, where is all the dollars going to be going to? Because as we all know, during the upfronts, hundreds and hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars are spent on the big networks to distribute and garner eyeballs. But in a world that's completely fragmented and decentralized, then what happens? Where do the dollars actually go to? And a lot of celebrities, modern day celebrities, are starting to take note. You obviously all know what DJ Khaled did on Snapchat. Can we get some sound?
Trust me. Trust me.
That was him with Dove soap. Next, you're going to see him promoting cocoa butter. He basically uses his audience to obviously monetize. He has no network. He has no production crew. All he has is his phone, and obviously we know that's him lathering up. He gets paid for that to obviously introduce the product. Capturing scale because he's showcasing his real life, but also pushing brands. And then Instagram Live is sort of the next iteration, and you have people like Justin Bieber chewing gum, and see the numbers going up, 146,000, 148,000. It goes up to 200,000 people seeing him chew gum, okay? This isn't scripted, this isn't promoted, yet it has more eyeballs and a bigger audience than most syndicated TV networks. So when you think about the future of TV, as scary as it may be, you actually may be looking at it right now. We could skip to the next page. And no one has done this more than the Kardashians. And what's really fascinating to me about the Kardashians is they took a traditional network audience from TV, and then they pushed it down into social. So you see what they're doing on Instagram right now, $400,000 a post to essentially get paid to push a product. When they get paid to push these products on Instagram, they sometimes just roll out of bed and do it. You know, there is no agent involved. There is no big production shoot. These are people who have built a massive audience and, again, leveraging their power over traditional television networks by leveraging their massive distributed networks of individuals. So, and it's obviously over $100 million. This is $122 million in 2016, over $150 million in 2017. The Kardashian/Jenner empire really has no signs of slowing down. And this, to me, is the future network. I believe the Kardashians are probably worth more than most traditional TV networks right now, the family themselves. Let's just think about that for a second. So brands are people, people are brands. We've sort of headed there. And perhaps nobody in entertainment, in marketing, has seen the evolution of this movement to people sort of being their own brands as much as our guest today. Rev was there since the beginning. We're going to be talking about My Adidas, which is a song by Run DMC that came out, which literally was the first entryway of a celebrity and music into brand marketing, and we're going to talk about that story. And I think that he's got a lot to share for you guys in terms of where we are, how we got there, and where we're going tomorrow. So I just am so excited to welcome Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member, hip-hop icon and legend. Get the phones out, bring it out for my boy, Red Roy.
So really sleazy. All they just say is please me, or spend some time and rock a rhyme. I said it's not that easy. It's tricky to rock around, to rock around. That's right, on time is tricky. How is it, D? It's tricky.
Yeah.
That's right. My dream is to share the stage with him and
So
start
much
rapping.
stuff in my pocket. Man.
Yeah, you can get a little out. Any sponsored items you're going to pull out, or
Just
we're
my
looking at
phone
it.
and my keys and my money and. Just,
So Rev just got off a red eye, and
yeah,
he was
came straight here.
straight here. He's not the type to bail out. The show must go on. So really appreciate you being here.
Thanks, man.
Before we get started, I want to show. I put together a quick video that I found online, actually, of the history of Run DMC and how it led up to My Adidas. So I just want to run this really quickly to give us all some context.
In 1983, straight out of Hollis, Queens, came three bad brothers who, along with their ridiculously savvy manager, Russell Simmons, refused to conform to pop standards and decided they were going to dress on stage the way they would dress on the streets.
The whole city was wearing Adidas. We went to Georgia. Everybody was rocking Adidas. We went to Boston, South Carolina, North Carolina, Chicago. Everybody started rocking Adidas suits and Adidas because of us.
It's one thing for a rapper to say Adidas, but it's another thing to see 10,000 kids waving sneakers in the air. You know what I mean? And I think that at that point, these big corporations truly understood that we have power.
So that was really the start of this movement, obviously, of artists really controlling, their own audiences, not needing to go through traditional networks. How did that come about? How did My Adidas come about? Tell me the story.
The story of it becoming a brand. Besides, they were going out of business when they met us, but we wasn't wearing them.
Adidas was going out of business.
They were going out of business, but we weren't wearing Adidas to get an Adidas endorsement. We loved the sneaker. It ended up being like, my Heinz ketchup. It's like, for them, they were happy. We were screaming very loud their name. And, the managers ended up connecting with Adidas to tell them what's going on, that you should come see. And I remember being at the Garden and telling everybody to put their Adidas up in the air. And one of the top executives there came and said, I want to do a deal. And then we ended up doing the Adidas deal and creating our own line. Some sneakers called Cadillacs and different stuff like that. And, it wasn't in our mind that we were trying to do it. And that's what I make sure that some of these people that just go out and just do things, they'll smell it out and say that's not authentic. But for us, it was, comes from our heart.
So, and I also found this video online, which I thought was amazing.
Yo, what's up, Adidas? I'm Jam Master Jay, DJ Run, and my name is DMC, and this is my man Hurricane from around the way. You know what I say? Hollis, Queens, that is.
Word up, and we always rock our Adidas on our feet with no shoestrings.
In them,
I did not
win them,
I bought them off the app with the
Levi denim.
I like to
Sport them,
That's why I
brought them,
a sucker tried to steal them, so I
caught them,
and I
fought them,
Then I walked down the
street,
and bop to the
beat,
with Lee on my leg and Adidas on my
feet.
And now I'm just standing here shooting the
gift.
gift. Me and D
and my Adidas standing on 2/5. My Adidas. Adidas could never even buy this much promotion we give them. I reckon it's number what?
10 with a bullet on the black chart.
10 with a bullet on the black charts, 27 on the pop charts. What does it say? Zoom in.
My Adidas.
My Adidas. On the charts for 6 weeks.
You know what a bullet means? That it's going to the top. So give us $1 million.
They gave us $1 million.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
That was the exact number.
Right on.
And $1 million then was like a lot of money now.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of money, don't get it twisted.
And when I saw that, one thing that really just stuck in my mind is that today it would be so easy for a brand to find an artist.
Right.
Right. But back then, you almost had to find the brand. There was no YouTube. Like,
I think they knew we were on their radar, but it was up to the managers to connect to make sure that we got a deal going. But they had to know because they're skyrocketing in Detroit and skyrocketing there, and they probably just felt like maybe they was just gonna ride it until we gave them a call. But you said now the brands are now connecting, calling the artists instead of the artists calling
them.
Right.
So, and you guys obviously propelled Adidas. You said they were about to go bankrupt, and they're doing just fine now.
They were going out of business for sure.
Yeah, and so was there a point though that you felt like later in your career maybe Adidas propelled you? Like, how's that partnership worked over time, and what does that partnership look like?
I don't know if Adidas propelled us. Run DMC is its own thing, but we are definitely a partnership. Run DMC and Adidas. To this day, I still wear the stuff.
You get paid to wear it? Are you getting paid to wear that right now?
No, but I get paid all the time through certain sneakers that sell when they use my logo. The Run DMC logo is probably one of the biggest logos in the world. You all know that logo with the red bars, and I think that all happened because, in my mind, Lil Wayne, when he was on fire, he started wearing the shirt. I think he wore it on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine or on the end page, and next thing you know, that caught fire. But people already knew about that logo, but I mean, it's all God's plan. But it was amazing what happened after. In my mind, I don't know if Daryl or R.I.P. to Jam, Master J, would agree with that, but I remember that turn when he was on the very, very top, Lil Wayne, and he started wearing that shirt, and it just like, okay, well, you're hot right now, you're the king, but you're saying these dudes are the king, so it was great.
So you guys obviously very early on partnered with Adidas. I mean, was there internal conversations like, do we even want to have a brand partnership? Should we just keep it at bay? I mean,
no. We
wanted to
wasn't
get
that
paid,
dumb.
or?
No, we wanted, we would get paid, but we didn't. Like I said, we didn't do it on purpose. But when it was time to get paid, our managers wasn't going to let that go up. And then we wanted to create our own line of sneakers. I mean, we probably should have just kept these going, but I think we made a couple of these with the Run DMC logo on it, and then we made some sneakers called Cadillacs, and we had shirts and different things. It was an exciting time for me.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys kind of started this whole movement of artists, especially in the hip hop world, working with brands. I mean, this was one of the spots. But you talk to me about this clothing line. You guys
That's
built well.
part of the line right there. That shirt right there. D came up with the design for that. And these pants right here, those are these in leather. So that's really cool. So to have a pair of these in leather was the flyest thing you could have. So we came up with that concept, like, because we was wearing leather suits and we was also wearing Adidas. So we was like, why don't we just turn the Adidas into leather suits?
But I mean, what did you guys know about fashion design? I mean, what gave you the
There's
right?
Nothing to know. We know what we like to wear. It wasn't. I don't like the word fashion design. We're like, we like those. Make that.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. Even though the word fashion and design isn't like a big long word, but it was like, this is what we want to wear, and this is how it looks, and draw it on a piece of paper and go to the factory and say, make that.
And what's interesting is that quickly turned a relationship from an endorsement to a true collaboration, which is what we see in modern day. We'll get into a little bit later with Diddy and Ciroc, or Dre and Beats. I mean, this was sort of the early time where you're actually building product with Adidas based on your taste and bringing it out to your audience.
Yeah, but they made these sneakers, and we fell in love with these. And so I got to give Adidas a lot of props for that. It's not like we designed these. We wore them, we loved them, we're from the streets, and people that didn't wear them and didn't know fell in love with them also. And to this day, I'm walking past kids in the airport, and they just walk right past me with a Run DMC shirt on and the sneakers, and they don't say shit. It's like,
no respect, man.
No, but they don't know it's me. A lot of them do. I'm not trying to diss myself. I get a lot of love because when Run's house came, a lot of the kids know me. But I'll run past a bunch of kids and running past me in Adidas, and I know, like, you wouldn't be wearing those, dude, if we didn't put these on our feet. So yeah.
And were there other brands that you work with over your career that have, I guess, been prominent that really made an impact, or is it basically just Adidas?
And basically just been Adidas that I like to wear. I still wear it. Like I said, I like to keep it authentic. I don't like to reach and just do things just to do them. You won't catch me on my Instagram putting up some stuff that I don't love. I refuse to do that. There's no.
So you don't take any money to post ever?
No, there's no life in it. If I do, it'll be because I love it. But I'm not gonna. Shaquille O'Neal was saying the same thing. I only use what I love. And if you want to, like, there was traveling.
He promotes a lot, though, man. Shaq's everywhere.
Yeah, but
so he must love a lot of shit.
Yeah, he does.
Like,
No.
Right.
He said that the doorbell thing where he just got like millions and millions of dollars.
Ring.
He said he
That was
did,
acquired by Amazon.
Yeah, but he said that's because somebody was trying to charge him, unless he's lying, charge him a lot of money to put in a system, and he said he fell in love with it and buy it. And then I saw that commercial. Did you see the special on him?
I didn't.
Yeah,
know.
he was talking about how he connects with different things. They'll tell him, "Oh, you should do this, Shaq." I think it was Krispy Kreme donuts. You know, let me just go be behind there and serve Krispy Kreme donuts to people. And I thought that was cool. But
so what other brands do you love? What would you take money to promote because you really use it and love it?
I just like what I do. You know, see, the funny thing about the Rev Run is, Reverend Run is a bad idea in the midst of gangster rap. When I first came out and said, yo, I'm a Reverend, I go to church, that's not a good idea. That's a terrible idea for rap. What the hell you mean you're gonna be a Reverend? Yeah, I'm a Reverend, I go to church. I needed to get, my life's, I'm going crazy. I'm gonna go to church every day. And then they wrapped the collar around my neck, and my brain said, this is the coolest shit ever. Reverend Run. They were looking at me like I'm crazy when I go on the red carpet, D standing there in Adidas, and I got the collar on. But, in my mind, it was authentic. It was real to me. And next thing you know, when MTV put it on TV, it's like, I like this guy, the Reverend. He's the Reverend, and he got his family and his little kids, and he's the Reverend. But that's what I knew it would connect because it was my truth. And I knew it was cool to me. And, I was growing up, getting older, and that's what my life was. So I never do anything that's not authentic. And that's why you could take Reverend Run, put him on MTV with his Jersey Shore and say, yes, I'm going on MTV and I'm going to wear my Reverend collar and they're going to love it because they respect what's real.
So, and I mean, we're in a whole new world these days. I mean, I don't know how exposed you are to it, but there's this whole thing called influencer marketing, which is really big, where basically people who have followings will just take money to hold something up.
Yeah, I know.
That's everywhere.
That's
right?
fine. I'm not mad at it. I'm just
But
me.
do you think that hurts them? That they're just taking, over time, what does that do to their audience?
I think obviously in the long run it's going to hurt them. But, if the product's good and you kind of like it and it works, it's not going to kill the artist. But usually people can smell when you're just taking money. And if they still love you, they'll love you anyway.
Yeah.
They might be happy. Oh, really? Such and such gave him $80 billion? Or whatever the number is, $80 million? You're not mad at them. You might not be mad. You might be happy that you got that artist got the money out of that company, as long as that artist likes it enough. But if it's just taking and taking and taking, it starts to stink after a while.
Yeah.
But I don't do it at all. But I'm not one to look down on things that's going on. That's not fun for me.
Yeah.
I love new things, new rappers. I'm not that disgruntled rapper that's mad at new records and Young Thug and whatever's new. I listen to it and I understand because they were mad at me when I came out. What is this? There's a bunch of R&B records. What was Run DMC? And people were mad. Certain people were mad at Run DMC for doing something new. So who am I to be mad at somebody for doing something new? I hate mumble rap. Well, I listen to it. I mean, I don't know what they're saying, but it sounds cool. I'm going to mumble with their ass.
Yeah.
Let's mumble.
So
mumble in the jungle. I'm just joking, but seriously.
You guys started, I think, a whole movement. There's a video we were showing upstairs earlier, which I think was another kind of landmark
Q-tip?
moment. Well, I'm going to show you the Snoop, because Snoop...
Yeah. What we gonna do right here is we gonna get real slow, you know what I'm saying? As we go a little something like this. Hit it! Lordy Dotty.
Trying to drop some lyrics, bro?
Lordy Dotty.
Just enjoying myself, bro.
Lordy. Dotty.
As hard as I'm going to work today.
You know what, yo, peep this. Lordy Dotty. We like to party. We don't cause trouble and we don't...
So Snoop goes on SNL and wears a Tommy Hilfiger shirt.
Cool.
Unannounced, not paid for.
Unannounced is funny. He liked it. He wore it.
He liked it. He wore it. Exactly. But he didn't do it.
He
with
had
Tommy.
no motive behind. This is the dope thing to wear.
That was the style. And at that time, Tommy Hilfiger was a predominantly white suburban brand. He wears it and has crossover appeal. And all of a sudden,
he probably wore it after other people was wearing it. We were all but everybody didn't go on.
It was in the song "What's the 411"
on SNL. Probably a lot of people was wearing it, but everybody don't get a chance to be on SNL.
That's exactly right. It's mainstream and it crosses over. Their sales increased nearly $100 million next year. Tommy has a huge run. It's sort of like a predominantly now urban, culturally relevant brand. Can brands still do that today? Can they partner with a hip hop artist and actually cross over and have?
No, it's up to the hip hop artist to choose it. They can call you, But usually it's more authentic when the artist chooses you.
Right, and we were talking about Virgil Abloh, and now he's a creative director for Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, they felt they needed him. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't think they would do that, but I'm very happy for Virgil, and I think it's going to be dope. But they needed him.
You think he's going to drive crossover appeal for?
They're crossed over on their own. Maybe listen. If they got him, they must have needed some help. But I love Louis, so
Yeah.
and I love Virgil, so I can't see it being very proud of Virgil.
Yeah.
Put
Is
it
it
that
Louis
way.
Vuitton or Versace?
It's Louis Vuitton.
It's Louis, isn't it? Yeah.
Dude,
I don't get down. I don't get down with those luxury brands, man.
I understand.
Yeah.
But it's Louis.
I don't got that type of Adidas money yet. So then,
That
yo,
Harlem dude.
let's talk about Run Town.
I went from a rapper to a reverend with no problems. Now I'm a dad.
It's still
and ain't
fly.
nothing easy
That's
about
the point.
that.
See, I was fly with
You're
the
bugging
gold chain
out.
and fly with the Rusty.
Hey, I tell Daddy.
Mommy's not upset.
You're dismissed.
Living out my bag, but I'm never missing home. Papa was a rocker and I'm not a rolling stone. This is Run Town.
So Run Town. So
Cool.
what I think was super interesting about this is, you know, reality TV was sort of like what I'll call a genetic indicator that social media was around the corner. Because before reality TV, we were watching all scripted shows, and now all of a sudden you had The Real World, and then it became Big Brother and American Idol and all these Survivor, all these reality shows, which started to show, I think, all of us that people are inherently interesting, and being voyeuristic, looking at people is cooler than watching scripted shows. You were there at the beginning. I mean, was that a hard decision for you and your family to let cameras in your house? Like, what was that all about?
It was
Tell me about that
it was my
experience.
decision, so it wasn't a hard decision, and I did it out of the love. Again, it wasn't like I'm worried that I'm gonna ruin my family by, you know, going on television. I wanted to show rap, the after rap, all grown up. This is the after rap. This is a rapper who's got older, has a wife and kids, and I was a reverend, so I'm still a reverend. But you want to show what is going on inside of the household of rappers, you know. So this was me showing the world what I was doing, and I was happy to do it. And I showed lots of lessons and gave lots of wisdom. And, you know, a married guy showing whether it's LL or Kanye or Jay-Z, okay, this is what you do. You know, we're gonna clean it up as you get older, and we're going to get married. We're not gonna just chase girls all day long. And I think that that's what my job is, to inspire. I inspired as a kid as Run, and I was able to, thank God, inspire again when I got older as Reverend Run. And it's, you know, created entrepreneurs, it created people wanting to be married and wanting to have a stable life. And I believe that some of what I did probably influenced a couple of rappers to say,
Yeah, for sure.
that's the look that I'd rather have than just running amok. And you notice the biggest rappers are married. Jay-Z, Kanye, LL, a bunch of rappers are married. So it's in the back of the kids' minds, there's like, okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, everybody can't live up to it, you know, being married and being just being dedicated to one wife, but it's definitely the goal. And Barack Obama showing that look. It's a fly look that everybody can't live up to, but it's something, it's, as they put, hashtag goals.
Yeah, sure is, man. Right on. And I mean, it's the way you talk about it, to you it's probably second nature, but to me it feels super strategic and prescriptive that you're looking at kind of reinventing yourself. I mean, what goes into that? Is that something that's just natural, or do you take a step back and talk to your management and say, it's time to turn the corner?
I'm my own, I have management, but as far as creativity, I'm my own management. There's if I'm doing something and you call it, what you said, strategic, strategic to save lives, strategic to give love, to strategic to go on MTV with a collar wrapped around your neck and say you're Reverend Run. Yeah, strategic in that way, because when you're quote unquote preaching the gospel, or preaching the gospel of good, preaching the gospel of God, saying here's where rap should go, here's where human beings should go. Yeah, I can call it strategic, but it was my, you know, creativity, my love of being. This is a proud as proud a moment as becoming Reverend Run as it was becoming Run, and I knew that because Will Smith told me, yo, we do Run's House Wednesdays, and I'm like, okay. I'm making it somewhere, that they not only loved me as their favorite rapper, but they loved
Another
me.
family man.
They love the family man. So when I can do that, if it's called strategic, then it's strategic for a good cause, but not strategic in a fake way.
Sure.
That's why I love saying, if you think about it, you're gonna go on MTV as a reverend, bad idea, but great idea.
Yeah,
and
it's
when I
a
say
great idea.
bad
It's true
idea, I'm
to you.
making a joke. It's the greatest idea. So, but I don't think I'm everything, because I was on, and at the same time you turn the channel and you got Flavor of Love. I'm just the other pit stop. I'm the same thing on Instagram. You go through it all day and you're looking at all the ratchetness, and you stop and you write amen on Rev Run's page and you keep moving.
Yeah.
A moment of, there's no booty shaking.
Is that prescriptive? I mean, you just pull
No.
up your phone and just
I
post
just
whatever.
wake up in the morning and know my lane, and I stay in it, and I don't have to get.
But you're like, I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna write it down.
I'm gonna
How's
write
that
a
work?
whole post about my wife and how much I love her and how much it feels good to be married all these years. So I'm gonna put up a whole post.
Right on.
I didn't expect that. A whole post about words of wisdom, which I was doing on the show, from the tub with the phone. So yeah, this is, the tub, yeah. I used to
Yeah.
really do that. That's how authentic it was. I would get up in the morning and I would write to 100 friends, maybe less, 30 friends, and then went on Oprah and talked about it, and it became this big network. And then next thing you know, I had to Run's house, and I was like, what are you gonna do on your reality show? So I'm gonna start the morning like I usually do. I'm gonna get in the tub. Oh, really? Yeah, just put some bubbles, dude. Let's save that to the end of the show. Okay, but I usually do it in the morning. Okay. But I was down to show myself that vulnerable. Not only, how crazy is that? You're gonna put a collar on your neck in the midst of gangster rap and get in a pink tub. What the hell was the matter with me? And write words of wisdom. But it shows you how things in this world can work if you're passionate. It just hit me. I was a reverend in a tub. Anyway.
That's crazy, man.
I guess if you love something, people will believe in it as much as you, as long as you're true to you.
Right.
And I'm true to me, and I'm grateful that I have that secure. I'm not insecure. And there was bubbles in the tub too. Jeez.
It's clear. Not
How much
insecure.
is that? This is almost like the anti-rap. So you're a reverend, and you're gonna sit in a tub, and you're gonna write words of wisdom. Wow. Yeah.
It's you. So let's
Yeah.
get back to business and brands.
That's a brand.
Rev Run
is
you're
a
a brand. So I
I'm
talk
a
about
brand.
brands are people, people are brands. So you're acting, you're treating yourself like a brand, and then brands also kind of have to be people. They have to know who they want to hang out with, who they're along with, and you look at.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you look at this Diddy, obviously Diddy's collaboration with Ciroc.
Diddy's a genius
Why is he a genius?
because he gives people what they want to have, and he gives you.
How do you think he knows?
Gives you a piece of, because he's cool as hell, and he gives you a piece of him. You want to wake up and you want to put on Sean John Cologne, and you want to drink Ciroc, and you want to dance like him, and you want to point things. You want to be as cool as that. So if you want to be as cool as that, you're going to drink Ciroc and put on Sean John Cologne. You have no other choice.
So what's interesting about this is, you're talking about you designing for Adidas, and you guys got paid, but you didn't get an equity stake in the company like Diddy did with Ciroc. I mean,
But I own the Run DMC logo.
right, which helped you in that. But do you
Yeah.
think this is the future? If you're Drake today, is this what you're looking for? Are you looking?
Drake
for the
has
next-
something called Virginia, and he sang about it. This Virginia done me up already. I'm blem for real. So, and if you look, he has a commercial too about some liquor. I don't know what it is called. Virginia. Anybody know about
Well, if
that?
you don't know what it's called, maybe he's
Virginia Black or something.
Okay, there you go.
See, I know my stuff.
Yeah, there you go. I was about to say that if he.
Everybody's.
It's not Ciroc
leaning,
yet,
It's not Ciroc yet, but I was just pointing out that he's doing it.
Yeah.
You said, if you're Drake, do you want to be Diddy? Yes.
Is that all you're doing though? Like, are you only taking
Me
deals
or
if you-
them?
If you were Drake, are you
If
only
you're
taking deals that you
if
have an
an
equity
entrepreneur,
stake?
you want
not
to-
just getting paid, but actually
You want to
taking
sell
equity stake.
you. You want to sell what you do. I'm only going to buy Drake because I want to hear Drake. And if I think Drake is drinking Virginia, maybe I want to drink Ace of Spade in Virginia, and I might want to drink Ace of Spade. Not me, as the Reverend,
Yeah.
but I'm talking that if you're going to drink something and you want to be, if you think Drake is cool, you might drink what Drake is drinking. Yeah, okay. I didn't want to say drink is draking. Then it's like, I didn't really get no sleep if I'd have said that.
Yeah, you're doing good, man. So, and then obviously you have the ultimate example of, Dr. Dre,
to our specs.
Jimmy
Coolest
Iovine
thing.
creating
That it
beats.
sounds right. And Dre and I do it.
You
He
told me-
actually fell asleep with headphones on his head.
So tell me about that. Can we turn the sound down just a little bit? Run the video, but just turn the sound down. Or not. So anyway, what you were saying was.
I just said that Dr. Dre is so intense into hearing his sound that as a kid he fell asleep with the headphones on his head, his mother said. So I said, it's appropriate that he can get $1 billion. If you're gonna listen to music until you fall asleep with headphones on your head, I like to watch God. You're passionate about something, it's going to happen for you. Life wants to weed out those who aren't serious, and you're very serious about what you do, and I love what you do, Matt, for real.
Thank you.
And you're very passionate, you're always energetic, so you're always gonna succeed because you love what you do. And that's anybody in here that loves what they do. Obstacles don't stop you because you love it.
Yep.
What obstacle? Oh, it's not working for me. What? What are you doing it for? Aren't you doing it because you love it? And that's how you succeed in life.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this was amazing just because, to your point, he really focused on his craft. Like in this
He
video,
loves the sound, so
yeah,
he
cares.
his headphones sound good because they have to sound good because they're a part of Dr. Dre. So we all bought Dre's headphones because we want to hear sound like he does, and we all bought the Ciroc because we want to dance like Diddy and laugh and be happy.
Yep.
Just,
and you look at another company like Bose, who had great sounding luxury headphones, and they didn't have.
Who's Bose though?
Who's Bose exactly? Who's Bose? So because they didn't connect with somebody, Dr. Dre, somebody who people followed. He connected his personal.
Those are called Dr. Dre head. What are they called?
Beats by Dre.
Okay, so they're their own thing.
Yeah. Well, now they're owned by Apple, but who knows what they'll do with it?
We're happy Dre got paid.
Yep, for sure. So let's talk about you and modern day Revron. You obviously have a huge presence on Twitter. Talk to me a little bit more about social media. What platforms are you using? What's working for you? What do you get out of social media?
I like Twitter, but I use Instagram a lot more now.
When did you make that shift, and why?
I don't remember. I think I'm really new school. I just, the second something new comes, I was the first one. I was the most retweeted person in the history of Twitter for the first 4 years. You can Google that. That's a fact. This is when Bieber and everybody was around. I was the most retweeted person in the history of Twitter for many years. I just, for some reason, I have a very youthful spirit. I'm not a hater on new rappers. I'm not a hater on new things. I love Twitter. I still tweet, but I do Instagram now. And what was the question?
Yeah. What platforms work for you?
I like Instagram right now and Insta Story.
You post a lot of Insta Stories too?
I use Facebook, but my brain just has to be where the coolest things are in my mind.
Yeah.
My son Diggy like, no, Dad, Twitter's still popping. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever.
Are you engaging?
I don't know. I'm so crazy. I don't even remember to send my Instagram to my Twitter. It's just bad.
You're doing all right.
Click the button.
When your fans kind of come back to you, and do you try to engage with them one-on-one and respond to their
comments? Yeah, I don't follow anybody on.
But do you get notified if someone says something?
No, I don't get notified.
Just putting it out there and moving on.
Look what it says. Please don't be offended if I don't reply.
There you go.
Or follow you, but I love you.
That's all they need to know.
I'm only there. I'm giving out information and giving out lots of wisdom and love. So that's what I do.
Right on. And you're working on a big project now with Netflix.
Yes.
What can you tell us about that? And this is kind
of
not
much, but I can tell you that I have a show coming. It's a scripted show on Netflix. Scripted.
First time
with
you're
me and
scripted.
my wife. It's a show. It's a truthful show. I told my wife I'm going to retire, and I took her out hanging, and I turned my back, and she's pitching things. I'm like, I just told you I want to retire. With some rich guys on a boat. I think they own Burger King or something. And I turn my back. I'm jumping in the water. I come back. Oh, your wife has a good idea. I said, honey, I just told you I'm retiring. And then I'm at a Barack Obama, Michelle Obama event. And Damon John is there. We was just doing some charity. And Damon John from Shark Tank is there. I turned my head. She's pitching him. So I said, let me go pitch Netflix that my wife is crazy and that she's not allowing me to retire. So they said, that's a great idea. We don't have any retired rapper. Rap is so new. How's he retired? They're like, we love that show. So they bought that show from me. My Truth Is. And it's a story about me coming home, retiring, and then my wife driving me crazy with all type of new inventions. So you could imagine the craziness
so
of my
it's
house.
Loosely based on your life.
I thought you said Lucy, and she is. It's like Ricky and Lucy. Lucy, what are you doing, Lucy? That's how I feel. What are you doing? I come home. That's how I feel about my wife. She's very funny, very beautiful. I love her, and it's the truth. And she's, I found out just now, a very great actress. And I'm happy that Netflix was able to see that. And we made some really, the showrunner that made Friends is actually running my show. So, that's one of the biggest sitcoms. So I have, and Amblin, which is Steven Spielberg, is producing it. And
when's that come out?
ABC, look at all the power. I got ABC, Amblin, and Netflix all in one to make my show, and I just finished the 10 episodes, and I think it'll hit Netflix on August 10th.
Gotcha.
So I'm very excited
Everybody
about
look
it.
out for that.
It's pretty funny. It's good, and it's my truth again. Retired rapper.
And how is acting? I mean, how is being an actor?
I don't play myself. I play a guy named Joe Speed. So it's MC Joe Speed. And it's loosely based on my life, but probably not that loose, you know. I'm really trying to retire, but life won't let me, and wife won't let me. So between wife and life.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
and you're still
so
performing
it's very
too?
funny. Yeah, we got a show in London, Run DMC. Well, I do a lot of shows, as you know, with DJ Ruckus.
Yep.
I have residencies all around the world, in Vegas and Atlantic City with DJ Ruckus. But Run DMC does 3-4 shows a year.
So you're not retired in
I
real life?
can't. Nobody, they won't let me.
Yeah.
But I am in my mind. I'm really retired most when I'm hanging with DJ Ruckus DJing, because he's scratching, I'm just
He's
playing.
got the energy.
You know, it's like, I don't drink, but it's like the drunk guy. Hey, let me get the mic. You know, Ruckus is a lot younger than me, and I just go up, he DJs, and I get on the mic and I play with him. Like, move, Ruckus, and I have fun. So that's just like I get to be a 50-year-old guy DJing in Vegas, and people enjoying it. A bunch of kids in Vegas, and it's just the
No, you
coolest
guys
thing.
put on a great show. How long do you think you're going to be on stage and performing for? I mean,
Again, I'm retired, but
you're not.
I am retired, but I'm not. It's so funny. I'm retired, but I'm making a show about being retired. It's really stupid.
So meta.
That is so stupid.
Cool. Well, we got a couple minutes left. I'd love to take some questions from the audience. If anybody has a question, for
Holla.
Rev, right here in the front row.
Louder.
With all the reboots coming back,
Reboots coming back.
would you consider doing Rev's house again?
Nah, but this show.
The question was, would you consider, doing
will
a
I
reprise?
do a Run's House reunion?
Right.
No, but this show will feed that thing you want, because just me and my wife, we got some different kids, but it's very funny and it's very new. Matter of fact, Anthony Anderson's son, Nathan Anderson, plays my son. So you'll enjoy seeing me back in action, being loving to some kids and to my wife. And it's funny and it's good and it's Run's House-ish. You ever heard of Blackish? This is Run's House-ish.
Yeah.
Kind of Run's House.
Yeah, right up here. The question is, do you give your kids social media advice?
Do I give them advice?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Yes, and a 53-year-old man, does he give his kids? That makes me feel very proud that you might can ask me, can I teach them about social media? They stay in their own lane. Like Diggy, if you go to his thing, he's on Grownish this year. He posts when he thinks he should post, and he's very conservative would be the word, and he's very smart with the way he posts. So I don't have to tell him too much. It's kind of like pretty smart kids. Well, Angela, that's a whole nother beast. Anyway.
I don't want to just call on people on the front. Is there a mic back there? Or can I call on someone? Anyone with
Or just yell, holla.
Yeah, right there.
He's got to stand up and
Yeah, right
scream
here,
it.
right there. Go.
Real loud.
What inspires you to be your most authentic self on social media?
What inspires me is, I love knowing that I'm not going to chase what somebody else is doing to get a result. Again, my favorite thing is not a good idea, Reverend Run, but I'm in love with it. I'm gonna prove myself right that this is going to work on MTV. So I'm inspired to stay in my damn lane and to do it and know that people are gonna respond to that, not following trends, be the trend.
One more question over in the end here.
Are there any brands that Run DMC got approached by back in the day that you guys turned down? And are there any that you wish had approached?
Back in the day, like he said, they wasn't really approaching. There was nothing to turn down, Run DMC. We had the Adidas, and now it's a whole new world. And that's the point of him bringing me up here. And he said that, back then you would approach them. So we kind of, again, just wore Adidas, made a record called My Adidas for no good reason besides for, my Adidas, I love these things. Oh snap, I got a song, Ode to Adidas, called My Adidas. And I always make my joke is, damn, they got lucky. I mean, I got lucky too, but my Heinz ketchup, who does that? But that's what we did for Adidas. We screamed it as loud as we could, at the top of our lungs, because we loved it, had no expectations. Managers was like, they kind of want you. We're going to call and get that $1 million. Like, I could use $1 million. I took the $1 million.
Right on. I think the most common theme that comes out that I took away from this is just figure out what you love, your passion, go hard at it, focus, don't chase other things, don't chase the money, and good things are going to come to you. And that's something that's said a lot, but I mean, you're living proof of that.
Yeah, and if you see something that you do love or a trend that you do love that you want to be involved in, like reality television, I didn't create it. Ozzy Osbourne was there before me, but it was a great thing for me to do also. I didn't create it, but and I say the same thing with rap music. I didn't create rap music. I always say, I didn't create this ish, but I damn sure perfected it.
Right on. Well, we're going to end it with that. Guys, give it up for Rev. Coming up for Red Eye. Make sure to check out his Netflix show in August.
Peace.
That's it. Drop the mic. Done.